Are you looking forward to seeing Verstappen make his comeback to the Formula One track? If that's the case, you're not the only one. Prior to the day of the race, Zandvoort fans were already restless to catch a glimpse of their favorite, Max Verstappen. This is all the information we have of his return. Let's look at Verstappen's return with Ferrari and Mercedes waiting in the wings. Even 4 days before race day, Zandvoort was buzzing about the arrival of their idol Max Verstappen, who will compete as world champion on home soil for the first time in his career this weekend. The Seahorse bars were full, with most supporters dressed in orange from head to toe. On Thursday media day, fans could be seen peeking over fences, standing on tiptoes on one of the numerous dunes that surround the 4-kilometer course, and crowding the front entrance, hoping to catch a sight of their favorites. When Verstappen won here last year, on F1's return to the historic track for the first time in more than 30 years, Zandvoort exploded, with the celebration lasting all night and continuing when we arrived at the airport early on Monday morning. Given Verstappen's current form, there's a fair probability similar celebrations will take place. He enters Zandvoort fresh off the most dominating Grand Prix victory of his career, having won from 10th in Hungary and 14th to victory at Spa. Verstappen is a very different driver from the one who provided the victory his adoring Orange Army needed at Zandvoort last year. Winning the world title triggered a new level in his skill set. The pressure has been removed. He attacks each weekend with the same intensity, but enjoys it more. Crucially, in a fight, he has reduced his all-attack style by 0.5% and is more calculated, giving him a more potent possibility. Moving on, more specifics on Verstappen's return. Verstappen consequently has 9 victories in 14 races this season. He won 10 races last year and a 93-point lead in the driver's title. With that sort of form, it's a matter of when, not if, he defends his championship. In addition, he and his Red Bull team may face a more difficult test this weekend in Zandvoort, given how different the track is from Spa, where they were completely dominant. Zandvoort is about half the length of Amsterdam and has nearly half the number of banked curves and just one true straight, making driving difficult. There is no time for rest. The track is very tight with gravel traps rather than asphalt runoffs to add to the difficulty. While overtaking is conceivable, most likely into the banked turn 1, qualifying is critical here. This has been Ferrari's strong suit this season. The red cars have started P1 9 times in 14 tries this season. Charles Leclerc 7 times, Carlos Sainz twice, and have the tiniest advantages over Red Bull over a single lap. With that in mind, there is some hope at Ferrari that they will be a greater danger than Spa, but they and Red Bull will need to be wary of Mercedes lurking in the shadows. Following that, Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time Formula One champion, respects Serena Williams, the 23-time Grand Slam winner. Lewis Hamilton paid tribute to Serena Williams, calling her the best of all time, and praised her and her sister Venus for giving him hope that he could achieve his own goals. The Mercedes driver was mentioned by the 23-time Grand Slam singles winner, among others, who should be in the debate for the best of all time this week at the US Open, which is scheduled to be Williams' last tournament in the sport. Williams lost in the third round against Ayla Tomljanovic in emotional moments at Flushing Meadows on Friday, as Tiger Woods and LeBron James praised the 40-year-old's significance. Hamilton has always appreciated the Williams sisters, and the British Formula One racer underlined how important they were to him as a child. Taking a minute before the race today to express my thanks and respect to the best of all time, Serena Williams, Hamilton posted on Instagram. Serena will never be seen again. She's one of a kind. She came through like a wrecking ball and has been a sight to behold. She is fiery, powerful, and strong in both body and mind. It's great to be so bold, black, courageous, and above all, a loving and kind human being. What are your thoughts on this? Will you remember this tennis legend? Please leave a comment. Next up, the final battle of the British Series will be held at Brands Hatch. The fight for the 2022 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli UK heats up, with titles up for grabs in Trofeo Pirelli and Coppa Shell. The penultimate round of the season will be contested at Brands Hatch on September 2nd through 4th in preparation for the season finale at Silverstone on September 16th through the 18th. The British Series drivers are looking forward to more exciting testing at the venue in Kent, which has a nearly 100-year-old history. Lucky Curra, Grey Paul Birmingham, maintains his Trofeo Pirelli lead with 80 points. However, Andrew Morrow's Charles Hurst debut win in Race 2 at Donington Park and a runner-up result in the first race have moved the rookie driver into the second position in the overall standings on 68 points, passing H. Sickens, H.R. Owen London, who is 4 points back. Jason Ambrose, Dick Lovett Swindon, who is making his series debut this year, leads the standings with 91 points after 6 consecutive podiums, practically every race participation, including the top step in the 4 most recent races. Paul Rogers, JCT 600 Brooklands, is 20 points down in second, while Paul Simerson, Grey Paul Birmingham, is third on 68 points. Saturday begins with free practice at 9:35 a.m., followed by qualifying at 12:10 a.m. and race 1 at 15:10 a.m. on the Indy configured circuit. The itinerary for Sunday comprises free practice from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., qualifying from 12:40 to 13:10 a.m., and the green flag for the second race around the Grand Prix circuit at 15:25 a.m. All times are given in local time. Following that, Norris hopes for a lonely Dutch Grand Prix after qualifying 7th, while Ricciardo discloses the reason for his Q1 departure. Norris will start 7th in the race, and the Briton was delighted with the result, saying that overcoming the Alpines of Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso, who qualified in 12th and 13th position respectively, was not what he expected when qualifying began. I mean, after my first lap in Q1, I wasn't very hopeful since I was a long distance behind that Alpine, and so on, Norris said, but it seemed like quite a decent lap, so I had to push it harder and try to unlock a little bit more from the car, which I believe I did and made some excellent progress. And, to our surprise, we finished P7 ahead of those who we thought to be slightly faster than us today, so I was happy with my performance. A few mistakes here and there, even on my final lap, but nothing that would have harmed our position, so a good day for us. When asked about his hopes for the race on Sunday, Norris replied, I mean, I don't want to be too enthusiastic because Alpine are out of position. They've been quicker than us the entire weekend. We were merely in a different performance zone than them yesterday, but they've been faster the entire weekend. Yes, we shall see. Ricciardo, on the other hand, was knocked out of Q1 for the third time this season. He started 12th in the Austrian Grand Prix after starting 16th in the sprint, and the disappointed Australian was left cursing an incident at the last curve that ended his qualifying session early. Finally, Armstrong wins the Zandvoort sprint race in F2. Marcus Armstrong won his third sprint race of the 2022 Formula 2 season at Zandvoort. After a quicker start from the front row, the high-tech Grand Prix driver seized the inside line from the pole sitter Clement Novalak. The New Zealander remained unaffected, even during the late safety car period that set up a final lap fight for victory. Novak's second-place result was his first of the season. Dennis Hauger, a Red Bull Junior and Prima Racing driver, finished third for the first time since winning the Baku feature race. The race for the first position was nearly over by turn 1. Armstrong began the second stage of his launch to meet MP Motorsport driver Novalak at turn 1. After the Frenchman blocked Jury Vips, Novalak's defense made room for Hauger. In turn 3, Hauger overtook the high-tech Grand Prix driver for third place by diving to the inside. The championship leader, Felipe Drogovic, finished in 10th position. Theo Pourchaire, the closest competitor, had another terrible day, losing points due to an early racing blunder. P14 saw the Frenchman attempt to pass on David Beckman into turn 1, but lock up and skid through the gravel. He crossed the finish line in 20th place. Liam Lawson finished 4th after making a lap 1 pass on Vips entering turn 11. In the end, Vips had to settle for 6th place, ahead of Ayumu Iwasa, who made a last lap move on Richard Verschoor when the safety car came out. Williams Academy driver Logan Sargent finished 8th in the points standings. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you like it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.